The Preds just finished up the second of two games in Vancouver with a 4-1 win over the Canucks, so let's talk about it. So early in the first period, Anthony Beauvillier gets a goal off a Forsberg shot. Forsberg's first point in the series. That's huge. Man's in it now. Tip kind of behind to Smith, who's sliding to his right. Honestly, not a great goal. I think some people would say Demko might have saved it if he was in net. I would argue probably not, although Smith is, not as good of a goalie, so maybe. UC looks good early, keeps the team in it. Preds early on were really good at 5-on-5, kind of dominated the game at 5-on-5. They took a lot of penalties. In the total game, the Canucks had 4 power plays. At least 2, maybe I think 3, 2 or 3 in the first period. So, Preds taking a lot of penalties that did not need to be had, especially in a game where you're dominating 5-on-5. Power play, again, awful tonight. They were 0-for-1 in the first period, but they finished 0-for-4, although I would really give them 0-for-3. The fourth was up 4-1, either 4-1, and just, controlling the clock at the very end of the game. So not really a power play that I would count against them, although it does count against the stats. Even with that, the Preds carry 1-0 lead into the break, killed all three penalties. That's huge. Great job from the penalty kill. To start the second, the Preds got a ton of pressure. Honestly, dominated the game. That was maybe the best stretch I've seen them have in the series. A really good stretch. Scored twice. That included a goal from Philip Forsberg, his first of the series, second point of the night, where he battled hard in the corner. Him and O'Reilly got deep in the corner, battled in the corner, made a guy miss, came out, and then made a nifty move, put a top shelf on Dip Smith. It was a nice move. No goalie saving that. Unbelievable move from him. A great goal. That's his 49th in the year, closing in on 50. Just an unreal play. And then after that, the game kind of seems at a turning point. I don't know if 3-0 was just kind of like a line where they had drawn. They were just going to, sit back or whatever it was. But they just did not look the same. Vancouver started pouring on a couple more minutes. They dominated, and after that, Vancouver started pouring on the pressure. It was all Vancouver. Near the end, Zadorov gets a goal that I think got tipped by Jankowski in front. The announcers seem to think so also. If it was a very slight tip. Carrier carries his man in front, doesn't get rid of him, just leaves him there. Just as part of the problem is this Grand doesn't clear his man. I honestly think Carrier's got to be done. I would play Fabro. I would call up somebody. I would play 5D. Carrier's looked awful. You can't run that man back out there after what he did in Game 1 with the puck between his legs, and then the only goal in Game 2 being one that you can easily attribute back to him. Although it also does go back to before that with the Lions ended up on the ice for probably 2.5 minutes leading up to that goal, and it all leads back to a Sherwood play where he just doesn't dump the puck in, turns it over, which leads to coming right back at him, and then, puck ends up in their net. So Sherwood also with a big turnover, but I would probably contribute a lot of it. Carrier's got to be done. He just does not look good. So Preds going into the break, still up 3-1, feeling all right. And the third period starts, and I don't know exactly what the plan was. I don't know if the Preds came out thinking that they were just going to, just sit back and that was their game plan, or if they wanted to attack. But the Preds ended up in their zone for almost the entire third period, just sitting back, dump it out. They would just go change the line and then just go sit back and play more defense. And it was a really weird strategy to me, especially after how Game 1 third period ended with the fact that they basically played try not to lose in Game 1 and lost, giving up 2 goals in 12 seconds. So to me, it was a weird strategy to run right back to that, up 3-1, up to, I guess they're up an extra goal, but still a really weird strategy. They blocked a ton of shots. They had 32, 33, somewhere in there blocked shots tonight. That is absurd. The playoff record is like 43, so they're nearing on the playoff record in blocked shots. Everybody's putting their body on the line. As much as I hate on Carrier, pretty sure he led the team with 6 blocks tonight. We saw Lazan get a lot of blocks. McDonough had to play at the end. Hopefully he's not hurt. With the big block to keep the team in the game. Yossi had multiple blocks for a guy who's an offensive player, and people say doesn't play a lot of defense. He had a lot of blocks tonight. A lot of times in the good spot. Forwards getting down. Zucker took some blocks, got hurt. Forsberg's in the way. RLR killing penalties. Just a ton of shot blocking tonight. After all that, near the end, the Canucks pull their goalie. A play kind of gets chipped out. Sherwood chips the puck past the defender, skates right past him. I don't know why exactly he picked up the puck. He almost skated to the corner, really took away his own angle, but potted the puck in the empty net. Put the game up 4-1. Preds got a power play after that, but the game was basically over. The power play, they didn't really do anything. It was just killing the rest of the clock. So the Preds pull out the win 4-1. Let's start with the good. UC Saros, he was in it tonight. That was prime UC Saros. just when I was talking about in game one how he wasn't great, he was great tonight. He was outstanding tonight. I saw two goals saved above expected. That's what they need from him. Beautiful game tonight. Shot blocking. Like I said, 33 shots on goal. Everyone's putting their body on the line. That's what you got to do to win playoff games. Granted, I personally would not like to spend that much time in our zone. I'd like to, get out on the offense a little bit. But I mean, 33. I can't complain about blocking shots. 33 blocked shots is absurd. That's good work. That's how teams win playoff games. That's big. Depth scoring was again back tonight. The goal we saw Colton Sisson's goal, which was the third goal, and then we saw a Beauvillier goal, which was the first goal. Both of which are line two, so not far down the line depth scoring. I'd still like to see some from the Evangelistas, the Tommy Novaks, McCarron, who had some good goals, Cole Smith even. Keeper Sherwood just scored the empty netter, but I don't really count that one. So just like to get farther down the depth, more depth scoring. But I mean, we did get some tonight. Phil is back. Phil had a 2-point game tonight. Looked entirely different. Was in the game. Was battling in the corners, going to get the puck. Just an entirely different Forsberg tonight. Which I mean, they're going to need that to win. I don't know where exactly Yossi's been. I know I said blocking shots didn't seem to have as much of an impact on the offensive end, but Phil was definitely back. Good to see him back. Like I said, he's going to need to be a huge part of the series if they're going to win. And then the biggest thing, Preds got their win on the road already. They now have the home ice advantage. They're going home. Bridgestone is, I don't care what anyone says, the best environment in hockey. Tough place to win. Crowds always in the game. College football type environment. Tough place to win. Getting the home ice advantage was huge. And not only did they not wait until late in the series, they got it 2 games into the series. So they just got to go home, take care of business. That's big. Get game 3 and game 4. Take your 3-1 lead, and then you're in a really good spot. Let's talk a little bit about the bad. Like I said, they got dominated for the most part in the third period. Didn't show a lot. I don't know if that was by choice or if that was just kind of how it went, but that can't keep happening. You're not going to win games when that happens in the third period. I mean, it's great. I don't know how many games you're going to block 30-plus shots, and they're going to get through eventually. Canucks also missed the net 30 times. I know that part of that comes with blocking shots. They missed the net more because they're trying to get around them, but also, again, they're not going to do that constantly. You got to find a way to get some pressure when you get goals. Game 1 and Game 2, both times, led and just didn't put the pressure on. Let off the gas, as I have written here. You cannot do that. You can't. For a team that did a great job on their 18-game stretch of just continually pouring it on and scoring 4 goals a game and just continuing to just push and push and push, they have not done that at all in the playoffs, and it's really weird to see because it's one thing Bruno harps on. And after Game 1, Bruno said he thought they played well for the most part. I don't know where exactly he got that from for a guy who talks about pushing hard and, all that. But, so we'll see what he says. Obviously, his reports come out after mine, so we'll see what he says later. Last thing I want to talk about is the Canucks fans had a very interesting, I don't know why exactly. Their celebration was a little weird. So I would just, Canucks fans seem to be very supportive, so that's good. Might see a couple Canucks fans out in Nashville, all that to say. But Preds fans, make sure you're going to the games. Make sure you're filling the stadium because that stadium's got to be filled with gold. You cannot have Canucks fans taking away the stadium. We need to see a different team in Game 3. Need to. Have to. I know that they won Game 2 with this team on the ice. That cannot happen again. You got to have a team. You got to go back to what you're doing on the 18-game point streak. Rushes. Get Yossi into play. If you're going to give up some goals, that's okay if you're actually getting your offensive game. But you can't give up goals when all you're doing is sitting in your end. You have no offensive structure. You give up goals, the game's just over. So they got to get back forward. As I have, a win is a win, especially when you're on the road. Getting the series to 1-1 was huge. Getting that home ice advantage was huge. So, as much as they didn't play well tonight, a win is a win. And then lastly, go to the games. Like I said, be loud, support, show up at like the watch parties they're doing by the stadium. Just be there for this team. This team builds off the energy Nashville brings because that's what the fans are. They're passionate. I know that people love to say Nashville fans don't know hockey. I don't know what the hell they're talking about. Nashville fans absolutely understand hockey. They show up. They're there. They're some of the best fans, probably the best fans in hockey. Keep being there. You got the home ice advantage. All they got to do is win 3 games in front of you, and then move on to the second round. Be there, support, show up. Make sure you keep the Canucks fans out of the building. With all that being said, that's going to do it for my round 1, Game 2 recap. I will see y'all after Game 3, hopefully after another win. Peace.